What's up, YouTube? This is Yo coming at you again. I'm going to be doing an update on my Qliphorts, and I've been playing them and updating them and updating them and playing them and updating them and playing them. I don't like the Turbo Towers build, which is, I know, the better build. I like the traditional build of the Qliphorts. So this is basically how I built them, is the traditional style. And so, yeah, might as well get into the main deck. I play, obviously, one Towers, because Towers is good, Towers is love, Towers is life. This is, like, your trump card. You get this out, you basically win, and if you don't win using this card, you force your opponent to use a majority of their resources getting rid of it. My next card is 3 copies of Carrier. Carrier's staple at 3. I wouldn't run it any less. And then I run 2 copies of Disc. I probably would lower this down to 1 to add a 3rd stealth, but yeah, Disc minimum 1 if you'd like to, but I'm probably going to drop him down for a 3rd stealth if I can get my hands on a 3rd stealth. Then the next card I run is 3 copies of Helix. This is your spell and trap removal. Carrier's your monster removal. If you don't know that, then I don't know where you've been in the last, I don't know how many formats. Yeah, so, and then 1 copy of Monolith. I was running 2 for a while, but I find 1 is good enough, and 2 if you're really, really pushing it. But I found that your opponent would more go for your back row or scout than they would Monolith. But then when you start tributing and stuff, then your opponent realizes that they should have gone for Monolith, and at that point it should be too late. My next card, obviously, 2 Scout. I wish I could run 3, but, you know, you just can't do that anymore. And, yeah. Then 1 copy of Shell. Like, because why wouldn't you run the 1 copy of Shell? I was running 2 for the longest time. I was playing the OTK variant, where, like, you pump out Shell and you got a 2nd Monolith for the 2400 beat stick and stuff like that. But then it just wasn't working for me. So just drop it down to 1, pretty standard. And then for the last of my monster lineup, 2 copies of Qliphort Stealth. This is probably one of the better monsters in the deck, other than Towers. Then like I said, I want to drop a Disc and put in a 3rd stealth as soon as I can get my 3rd stealth. But yeah. And then, yeah, so after that, going into the spells. First, for the first spell, I play 1 Book of Moon. Book of Moon is still a really good card. I know Dijin Lock is now gone, but this brings plays to an absolute halt. And yeah, it just stops plays. And then I run 2 Forbidden Chalice. You can use these on your own Qliphorts, or you can use them on your opponent's cards. It's dual purpose card. I was debating on running 3, but 2 is so far is more than enough. Then I run 1 copy of Laser Clip. Usually this is one of the first cards I side out if I'm finding that I'm not getting Towers fast enough, kind of thing. Obviously, 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. I've been suggested by so many people to take them out, but Mistake has given me trust issues. So, like, I know, because Necros, some people are just maining Mistake now, so I just main it just in case. Obviously, 1 Regeki. But board clear, sometimes Regeki can just give you games. Like, I know I've lost games to it in the past. One sacrifice, because you can only run one sacrifice, and like, why wouldn't you play it in a Qliphort deck? And then obviously your 3 copies of Summoner's Art. You need to get to your scout as soon as humanly possible. And then Upstart Goblin. I run 3 copies of it. A lot of people have been telling me, run Pot of Duality, run Pot of Duality. You dig your stuff out faster. Yes, you do. But Upstart Goblin still allows you to special summon. Your opponent may gain 1,000 life points, but as soon as you get towers on board and you get shell on board, or you get like disc on board, tribute summon disc on board, like you're not going to be too terribly worried about the life point gain. That was it for my spells. Moving on to the traps. Bottomless Trap Hole. Obviously, I only run 1 Fiendish Chain in the main because of all the other effect negations. And then I run 2 Lose 1 Turn and 1 Recreate. I like the Recreate on the basis of that you can banish your opponent's level 5 and higher monsters when they're summoned, when they're special summoned. But Lose 1 Turn is obviously the better card. I just didn't have the money to buy the 3rd Lose 1 Turn, so I just slid the Recreate in there to be able to fill the void. And plus, what I like about Recreate is that it's searchable by Scout. And then I run 2 copies of Mind Crush. When you already have all your normal monsters and you draw into the Summoner's Art, or like your opponent uses Poly or like whatever with the heroes, or you're playing against Necros, whatever. Mind Crush is pretty good, this format. This is one of the cards that I would side out, though, depending on what I'm facing. Obviously, the 1 Skill Drain, because Skill Drain. And then 2 copies of Soul Transition. This speeds the deck up a little bit more draw power, stuff like that. You can still get Pendulum and stuff. So yeah. And then obviously the 1 copy of Vanity's Emptiness, because Vanity's Emptiness. That runs off the main. I don't run an extra deck because there's only been once or twice where I've actually been able to use it, and if I went to use it, it was way more than overkill, so I just don't use it anymore. To start off with my side, 1 copy of Thunder King. Obvious reason why you don't main it. Then I run 2 copies of Diffusion for the Qli matchup. Not the Qli matchup, what am I talking about? For the, it's for the hero matchup as well as the Shaddoll matchup. 1 Field Barrier and 2 copies of Necro Valley for, what's it called? Necros, as well as, what's it called? Infernoids or whatever it is. Because those things are really irritating. 2 copies of Monarch Stormforth, because who doesn't like tributing their opponent's monsters? My other 2 copies of Fiendish Chain. Yeah, for depending on what I'm facing. 1 copy of Climate Change, just in case my opponent is wrecking my spell, my pendulum stuff. And then run 2 copies of Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for Shaddolls and Burning Abyss, as well as the the hero matchup for Darklaw. My 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors are just in my Constellar deck right now. When I'm playing this one in a tournament or whatever, this deck in a tournament, my my Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors would go in here instead of my Constellar deck. And then obviously 2 copies of Wiretap. I shouldn't say obviously, because it's not as obvious anymore. Wiretap because Constellars and as well as other stuff, like if I know my opponent is very apparent in running a trap heavy deck or whatever, and it's causing me a problem, well, I'm just gonna Wiretap that. Yeah, I don't know. Wiretap is still, in my opinion, a half decent card. It's not amazing, but it's still half decent. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Please like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, so I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos.